Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 30th. This week, you have this Desert Breeze. It says Force. And you have this Oak Creek. It says Feminine Energy and Intuition. So, obviously, a good time for intuition. All the readings for June and July, all the monthly readings, were really good for intuition. Had a lot of stuff about like this time being very intuitive, so that might be more of the energy that we need to lean on, is like our intuitive sense, our gut instincts and things like that. And I also get that popping into my head for you, Taurus, where you could be having like very strong gut instincts, which is different. Like, is that the same as intuition? I would say kind of, but sometimes I think a gut instinct can be more, it just feels a little bit different, at least to me. You know what I mean? It's like, at least to me, the two things, like my intuitive sense and then my gut instincts are usually kind of feel different. And but whatever, we're all different, right? And what I would say here is I would trust both. Like if they feel, if those two things feel different to you, which again for me it does, then I would listen to both, but also more kind of like your gut instincts seem to be the thing that is maybe really guiding you for not only the rest of this month of June, which there's only one day. This week, the 30th, is the last day, so there you go. But again, but also through the entire month of July. You have the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. The Six of Cups is a card of a turnaround and a change in direction sometimes. And, again, most people read it as like innocence, nostalgia, thinking about the past, things like that. But sometimes I think that the Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive is some sort of turnaround. You have two cards double, like these two cards, both cards wanted to come out together here. These, if like two cards stick together, I just take them both, right? And you have the Tower and the Star. Now, that's coming up in the good stuff, but the Tower, the Star with the Tower is good anyway, because it would represent overcoming a Tower moment if it didn't show up there. But definitely coming up at the end like that can definitely be a turnaround. It's like going from the Tower to the Star. So, like I said, this kind of feels like general improvements to me here. I also feel like you need to stop being too careful. Like, I just get that message. Putting all the cards together here, Taurus, it's like, I think it would be a good time. Like, I'm not telling you to put yourself in danger, but I think it would be a good time for you to do, not be too careful with the things that you're doing. And again, I'm not saying, I'm not saying like be messy or anything like that. But what I am saying is like take bigger risks, put yourself out there more, take bigger chances. I think I've said this to you before in the past as well. I could be wrong. It might be someone else I'm thinking of, but I think it's a time for you to like swing the bat more. And I always say it's like some of the best baseball players, right, of all time, they actually weren't that good. They just swung the bat more. And so they got more home runs because they took more chances, right? And that's kind of like the energy that I get for you here. You have the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, like slow, steady progress. Lately, I've been liking the Knight of Pentacles, which is weird because normally I don't like the Knight of Pentacles. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move. He's the only one that isn't moving. So, normally he can kind of represent a challenge or needing to make a move. But again, for you, I feel pretty good. Like, I feel like you are making moves, probably down this path right here on the Temperance card. The Temperance card has this path back here, and that is called the Path to Glory, and it just represents the path towards, everything you want and desire in your life. And I feel a lot of you could be kind of like going on this path towards your desires with the Temperance card. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords can represent separation or walking away from something. I do feel like you're walking away from something. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You go up to the Temperance card to the Ten of Swords. This is probably something you should have left a long time ago. Here, Taurus, go with Temperance to the Ten of Swords. It's like Temperance sometimes I think can be like, oh, I'll give this one more chance. I'll give this a little bit more time. I'll wait for this to get a little bit worse before I make the change. And I'm not saying this is like a bad thing. For most of you, I feel this could just be something that you've been investing like time, effort, or energy into, and maybe it's like you kept giving it chances, whatever it was, and now you're realizing like, okay, I got to cut my losses, right? With the Six of Cups, you have the Magician. Yes, definitely very good. I think you are definitely one of the manifestors right now. I feel that Taurus will manifest through creativity, but also reinvention and reinventing yourself, like really being the energy. We talk about this with you a lot, Taurus, and maybe I don't say what I'm about to say exactly, but, I think there's a lot of good blank canvas energy for Taurus. It's like if you want to be something, just be it. Literally, it is that easy for Taurus. Now, obviously, it's not really easy. It's going to require work. But, again, if you just step into the energy and just be the thing you want to be, you will be it. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups can represent wish fulfillment or fulfillment in general. Another card of matching the energy of what you want. So I feel that, being the thing you want to be is exactly what you need to do here with these cards. And that's it. With the Five of Swords, you have the Three of Wands. It's like you were waiting for something that never came. This feels like a specific situation to me here, Taurus. Like this right here is like one thing. I don't know how to describe it other than that. And I feel like you were waiting for something to come that never did. And it's like now you're moving on. It could be like money in a work situation or like a teamwork situation. It could be anything, and it's just something that I would definitely pay attention to. It's like I had a friend who years ago was working on a business with another person, and that person, like, I could kind of see it at first. The person kept doing things where it's like, this person doesn't really want to do it, right? And then what ended up happening is the person ended up getting pregnant, like right as they were launching the business. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting pregnant or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, right? But what I'm saying is the person's actions, and the person then couldn't start the business, right? They used it as an excuse for not getting into the business. So again, I'm not criticizing the person. I'm sure someone's going to take it there, right? That's not what I'm saying. So bear with me, please. Don't shoot the messenger here. But, again, I could tell, they could tell that, and they finally realized the person didn't really want to do it, right? And it's like that's kind of like the energy I get here, Taurus. I'm not saying like you're doing something to avoid something, but I feel like maybe you're realizing that just something isn't working or something hasn't worked, and it's like you're waiting for something that's never going to come, right? So there you go. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Tall Tale card and this Ears Wide Open card. I think it's an amazing time for fixed signs to listen. I say this to all the fixed signs. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something about fixed sign energy where there could be a lot of opportunity in what people are not saying. So, in all your dealings in, business, work, relationships, everything, it's in what people aren't saying where the opportunity might exist. And, it kind of makes sense because of Pluto and Aquarius, which is another fixed sign, and you could be getting the benefits of that energy, but I would definitely be listening here. I would also I would get down to the facts here. Like no stories, right? It's like I don't have a good example for you, but like what's popping into my head with this story card is that it's like sometimes instead of like getting to the point, people tell us a story. Like I just did it. I just told you a story, right? And it's like I think that if you're dealing with anyone who's like trying to sell you something or trying to convince you of something, I would say like, I don't need to hear the story. Just give me the facts, right? Plain and simple. And that's what I would do there. You have the Hierophant, the Temperance card, and the Fool. You showing up in a very strong position. I do feel like you are showing up in a strong position here in this reading. I also feel like you need to what's popping into my head here is that you need to look at like what you bring to the table and you need to value yourself accordingly. The thing about the Hierophant is he's blessing these two people in front of him, but kind of like the message I'm getting off of the card for you, Taurus, is that you are a blessing. Whether you believe it or not, right? And I think you need to act as if you are a blessing to the people that come into your life in work and business and love, spiritually, everywhere, right? And it's like once you start to value yourself like that, I think that's when you will be putting yourself up on this throne here, and you will also probably be taking the lead. I think that a lot of people don't really think of the Hierophant as a card of leadership, but it kind of is. He is sharing his belief system with these two people. The card itself represents initiation. So it actually represents initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery, the three stages on his crown here. And so he is initiating these two people into his belief system. Again, you have a lot of power, Taurus, but I feel like you need to, you need to claim the power. You have the Temperance card. It's like I feel like you've been very patient for results, but I also feel there's like something that you're going to do on your own here. In my head, I see this as like a path that you're going down alone. Now, that does not mean that there won't be people to help you on this path or anything like that. I just feel that it's like some of you might be kind of like moving towards like a more independent project or idea, or something that is more like on your own. I don't know how to describe it. I also feel like something is going to be easier. It's kind of a weird message. It's like, I feel that if you have a job or a business, or if you work for another person or something, it's like I see things over like the next few years getting easier, like in a good way, like meaning that maybe you're going to be spending less time on it, but like, again, in a good way. It's like if you are working for a person, for a company or whatever, it's like maybe they are being more successful. And it's like that maybe they're setting up better, systems in the business, which makes your job easier, which makes your life easier. It's like I just see this kind of, positive snowball, especially for those of you that have a career. It just feels very good to me. I don't know. I like it. You have the Fool. Again, time to take the risk of looking foolish. We kind of talked about this earlier in the first row, that you could be doing some things that are kind of like your own ideas, and maybe there is a risk of you looking like a fool or being wrong, but I think you have to do it anyway. That's the whole point of the Fool, is that he has to take the risk of looking foolish. With the Hierophant here, you have the Six of Cups again. If you want love, by the way, this does look pretty good. I wouldn't really call this a love reading, but, if you want love, I think it's always available to us. And, the Six of Cups could be like a very childlike, lighthearted, kind of like playful connection, which I think people are more attracted to right now anyway. As I've said before, love is changing. I think the reason, everybody tells me, and like, trust me, I'm right there with you, I get it, how bad love is. And like, yeah, it's like things have to get worse before they get better, as they always say. So it's like all these things have to be pointed out before we can fix it. But I do think love is changing in general. With the Temperance card, you have the Two of Swords, which you have twice right here. It's like I feel like you should stop trying to negotiate here, just in life in general. Like, if there's something you want, go for it. Don't try to people please or anything like that. Like, sometimes I feel that with the Two of Swords. We look at it as a card of trying to find a middle ground or being stuck in a stalemate. But at the same time, I feel for you, intuitively, Taurus, that the Two of Swords is more saying, well, obviously you can't please anyone at all, period, right? I always say that I'm convinced you could hand $100 bills out on the corner of the street to every person that walks by and someone's going to complain about it, right? So it's like, clearly you can't please everyone. And I kind of feel that's what the Two of Swords is saying. It's like saying, stop being a people pleaser, don't even try. With the Fool, you have the Four of Wands. Some of you definitely could be taking a leap of faith into a commitment. Now, for some of you, this could be love, but I feel like you're committing to something new, literally. I mean, we have all this stuff here. Three of Wands, Two of Swords, Ten of Swords. These are kind of like new beginning cards. Three of Wands again at the end. It's like some of you could be taking a leap of faith away from, something and taking a leap of faith towards like a new beginning. And the Four of Wands would be the commitment. Now, what I feel for you with this Four of Wands is it's like saying that if you take this leap of faith, you're like that's it. There is no other option. It's like sometimes I think we make a change in life, and it's like, if we make a change, for example, like where we quit one job to get another one, it's like maybe there is no going back. And that is kind of the feeling I get here, is that some of you are about to make a change or a decision where there is no going back. Like, once you make it, that's it. And, so it could be like a little bit of an intense decision that you're making this week. I kind of feel this could be over the next 2 weeks. So maybe it's not this week, maybe it's next week, or maybe you're kind of like taking the first 2 weeks of July to make this decision, but there you go. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Reflect card and this Relax card. Yes, I think you need to think about what you really want, is what these cards are saying. Like, what do you really want your life to look like? And, does it match up with, like, the direction that you're going? I think a lot of people need to do this right now. Like, I always tell people, like, imagine what your perfect life would look like, and then, write it down on a piece of paper and see if you're actually moving in that direction or not. And if you are, great, keep going. You have the Ten of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, something is definitely dead, done, over with here. And, again, like I said, once you make this decision, that's probably it. So, the Ten of Swords is like a complete change. He is dead. And now he needs to realize that something is dead, done, over with. And now he needs to get up off the ground and, have a new beginning. And so I feel for a lot of you, there could be like some sort of new beginning or release that's coming in for you at this time. He usually represents a blessing in disguise, and definitely with these good cards in this reading, like the Nine of Cups, the Star, definitely could be some sort of blessing in disguise if you are, walking away from something, or if something is ending in your life. You have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords, like this or that thinking. But I don't know. I really feel like this is saying no negotiation. Again, I read intuitively. I don't just regurgitate card meaning. So, intuitively, I feel like some of you, like this is saying don't try to negotiate with yourself. It's like there are things that you really want. Sometimes I think we have to admit that we want certain things in life unapologetically, right? And we need to really go for it. Again, I think it's Napoleon Hill, if I'm not mistaken, who says that, to manifest things, we have to ask for them unapologetically, meaning, a lot of people will say, oh, I want $10 million, but I'll be happy with $1 million. It's like when you do that, you are apologizing for what you want, even though we wouldn't really consider that an apology, right? So, I get that energy from the Two of Swords in your reading. Like, it's saying there are things you want, and you just need to be okay saying, I want this. I want this XYZ in my life, right? And you need to be unapologetic about it no matter what anyone says. And that's kind of the feeling I get there. You have the Knight of Wands. You have like a lot of playful energy in this reading, I would say, like Nine of Cups, Magician, Six of Cups twice. These would be very good cards for just being playful this week. Like, having fun, spending time with people who matter to you, getting out of the house, doing things that you enjoy, like all that would be very good here, Taurus. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles. Again, more of that energy. You have, number one, you have 3 sixes, technically. If you've been watching me for a while, I love 2 sixes, but 3 sixes is good, too. Multiple sixes like this kind of says you're going the right direction, you're on the right path, and so I like that. But one thing that I don't like about this energy for you, Taurus, is, it's not that I don't like it, but, it's like, kind of like not getting enough out of a situation or cheating yourself out of a situation, which seems to be important in this reading. I kind of said this earlier, where it's like if you're not getting enough out of something, that maybe that's what you need to walk away from. Or, I was saying on the Hierophant how you need to really value what you bring, the blessing that you are to a situation so that you don't get less. And I think you need to be paying attention to that. With the Two of Swords, you have the Hangman. This is actually pretty good because with the Star and the Hangman, this is kind of like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. With the Two of Swords, it's like the Two of Swords can say you've been stuck in a stalemate, trying to make a decision in life. The Hangman, he has been, he has sacrificed movement. The whole point of the Hangman is that he has sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs, and basically so that he can gain enlightenment on a situation. Going up to the Star here would, and he has gained enlightenment, but the Star would also kind of be like an answer. It would say that he has received an answer where he has been put on pause. So if you have felt like stuck or like you are on pause or have been on pause, you could be setting yourself free here. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Star. So there you go. Sometimes, we have to explore to find our star, I think. And I kind of feel that's what the Knight of Wands is saying. Is that, if you don't know what excites you in life, or if you have nothing that does excite you in life, it might be a good time to go on the adventure to find excitement. The Star, the whole point of the Star is having a North Star, having that one guiding light, having something that motivates you to be successful. But again, if you don't have that, maybe you need to go look for it, or maybe you need to figure out what it is. Maybe you need to find what fulfills you, right? And so don't be afraid to go on an adventure. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Crow Spirit. Says, you'll soon receive news that will bring some blessed experiences into your life. There you go. Love it. You have 2 cards of blessings here, actually. Well, multiple, really, but the Hierophant and the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can be a blessing in disguise. He's making the same symbol that the Hierophant is making on his card, so definitely some blessings. You have this Koi Fish card Spirit. It says, you're manifesting more love, prosperity, and wealth into your life. Clearly, yeah, I would describe this as a very good reading, Taurus. It's like a lot of good stuff going in your direction here. But it's kind of like a direction that you're choosing more than anything. You have the Star, the Eight of Wands, the Tower, the Three of Wands, and the Devil. Again, obviously wouldn't worry about the Tower or the Devil. It's coming up in the good stuff. But this is very good because I think that a lot of you could finally be like discovering your North Star or your purpose. And the Eight of Wands would be like charging towards that star, like really making things happen. So I feel for a lot of you that you are charging towards that North Star there and kind of really finding success or making things happen. The Eight of Wands is also a good card for like socializing and being very social. So, it could be an amazing time for you to socialize, but I kind of feel more like you're off to the races here, Taurus. And, this might be over the next 2 weeks. For whatever reason, I feel like this week is, yes, I know these are weekly readings, but the universe doesn't wear a watch and things happen when they're going to happen. I think this is like a 2-week process that's going on here. Like the first 2 weeks of July this is what you are working through. So that's what I feel. I don't know. Take it or leave it. You have the Tower and the Three of Wands. The Tower can, of course, represent a Tower moment, but obviously in the good stuff with the Star, wouldn't even worry about it. The Star is about healing from a Tower moment. The Tower and the good stuff can say that you are healing from a tower moment, like we already said, or it can also say you're avoiding a tower moment. I actually feel pretty good about this, Taurus, because of the Three of Wands. The tower can represent a light bulb moment, or lightning, that lightning strike is hitting the top of the tower, so it can be like a little bit of an aha moment as well. The Three of Wands is a card of like expanding out into the world or into the universe, and a lot of you could be getting some really good ideas if you with this ears wide open card. If you are listening to what is not being said, you could be getting a lot of good ideas that are really guiding you at this time. This, by the way, could also represent a move. Both cards can represent like moving or traveling. So if you're thinking about moving, I think that's pretty good. Next, you have the Devil. A lot of people in the month of July had the Devil, interestingly enough. And, I don't know. I think that, I have a couple of opinions. These are opinions. These are not intuitive opinions necessarily. But one thing I will say is Mercury retrograde in Leo, starting on the 17th, right? It's basically going retrograde right around-ish where Mars went retrograde, kind of. And, Mars retrograde can be a little bit toxic. In some ways, it can point out things that are toxic. So, even though, Mars has left Leo and, everything, it doesn't really matter. I think that maybe that retrograde motion through Leo with Mercury could have a lot of people, like, thinking about things that happened during Mars retrograde, obviously. And so we could need to, like, heal some things that started, like, last year back in, you're going to have to basically think back to, like, November of last year until, like, March of this year. What happened during that time? Did anything toxic happen? Did anything happen with your health or your wellness or people or situations in your life, And it's like you could be revisiting those themes. It's coming up in the good stuff, so probably to heal those things. With the Star and the Eight of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this really should be Taurus's favorite card. This is pre-Empress energy. The Empress is Taurus, but, this is gratitude and luxuries. This is the nicer things in life, the Nine of Pentacles. So, Taurus loves the nicer things in life. And, Taurus loves luxury in a good way. So I think that this is you kind of really stepping into the energy that you love, like of quality, just quality, right? Creating a quality life, which is, part of me feels like that is Taurus's kind of like job here on Earth, is to create a quality life, a life worth living. With the Three of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. Yes, like something is definitely dead, done, over with. But again, coming up in the good stuff definitely could be like a blessing in disguise that's coming in for you this week, or there could be some other type of blessing. With the Devil, you have the World here. Could also be a Capricorn. For those of you that want love, this could be like a Capricorn. Both cards can represent Capricorn. So it could be a Capricorn coming in for you. I also feel this could just be an accomplishment coming in for you as well. You have this Boat card. It says money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. Love it. After the 18th, which it is obviously of June, it's a very lucky time. And July is kind of lucky as well, even though we have a Mercury retrograde, doesn't matter. So I would take advantage of the luck, and, I would swing the bat more. Like I said, I think that, I know I talk about this a lot, but it's really important. It really is. That, we can get very lucky right now, but it's not like luck. It's like, again, taking more chances, luck, and if you take more chances, you will be more lucky. So I would. You have this broken wishbone. It says, wish will not be granted. That's probably something that you're releasing, is something you thought you wanted. Five of Swords, Two of Swords, Temperance, Ten of Swords, Six of Pentacles. That row, or this diagonal going this way, Taurus, it kind of gives me the feelings of like realizing that something is beneath you, or you would actually be, sometimes I think this happens. It's like, we come up with an idea when we're younger or whatever, or something we think we want in life, and it could be anything. And then as we get older, it's like we realize that actually we would be settling if we, accomplish that thing. Not that it would be bad to accomplish something, but, I kind of feel like that's what's happening here. You have this Cup card. It says you should accept valid criticism. Sure. Sure. I never know what to say on that card. You have this Target card. It says a goal-oriented person. I think the more goal-oriented you can be, the better. Star twice. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is pointing in one direction. That's the whole point of the Eight of Wands, is you cannot pull in two directions. You have to pick one thing and make it happen. And, definitely with all this energy in Aries, I think everyone should be doing this. You have this camel card that says, persevere and you will overcome. Yeah, I think you are very perseverant at this time. So this looks good here, Taurus. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.